Hi friends, Concy here from atop Serenity Hill, back with the next tag in my Gluebook paint chip tag journal. That's a mouthful. And before we get started, I just want to remind you that I do have a membership called the Creative Playground. It is a space where I help creatives, just like you here on YouTube, embrace play, curiosity, and imperfection in your art practice. So this is a lot of what I do here on YouTube, is share those philosophies and art tips and ways to just let go and be. And in the membership, we just dive a little deeper and you get a little more one-on-one time with me. So I hope you're interested in that. If you are, the link is below. So I've been doing this tag book for a few weeks. I think I'll end up doing about 26, I think, are on here. So one about every 2 weeks or so. And I've been using paint chips, as I've said in the past, and the paint chip color informs what collage I'm doing on the back. And this was inspired by Shana from Shanuki Arts, who does a 52 deck challenge every year. And so I'm pretty much doing collage, and I am adding a dragonfly to the front of each one to make it it's the dragonfly deck. And so that's something fun. There's also a word on each one. That came about because this deck was part of a different project. You'll see further on, there are no words, but I'll be adding them. And so I also started adding a bit of a focal point. So this one has an old stamp that is a focal point. This one had some I can't think of the word, modeling paste, that's what it is. So modeling paste, so I got some dimension on there. And so I'm still sticking with the overall concept of collage. This one I stapled on a piece of fabric and some thread, but I want to add some textural elements and maybe some interactive elements, using collage as my overall theme, as what I'm using as my main supply, but I want to see what other things I can add in. With this one, I added some stamping in the background. So can I stencil? Can I punch through it? I don't know. We're going to play with them as the deck progresses and see where it all goes. So let me pull off the one that we're working on this week, Faith. Let's tap into a little Faith this week, or for the next 2 weeks, or whenever before the next one comes. What does faith mean to you? How do you find faith? How can you invite faith in? All right. So just a little, see what, sometimes your art creative practices can be a way to tap into other things in your life besides picking up paint and putting it down. Okay. So not all the cards will have this, but because it was an old project, ways to have faith: ask for help, make a list of to-dones, not to-dos, to-dones, and then look for the kindness. Look for the kindness in this world. It's there. Hard to find sometimes, but it's there. All right, so this week I'm thinking, this is my color. The other thing, oh, by the way, the other thing that is happening on this is that there's something from this collage piece that then goes forward. So I'm always like paying a piece of collage forward. And so I cut this sticker last time in half. And so the sticker is going to go on this side. I'm going to line it up as best I can because I think that's kind of fun. So this is my piece that's going, paying it forward, my pay it forward piece of collage. So I also had these tabs that I had brought for this piece but didn't work. And so I don't know, maybe we'll add a tab because it's always nice to have something fun sticking out. So we got some tabs. I have, again, I'm always pulling the color green. This is a business card from a local tattoo parlor called Just Another Hole in the Wall Tattoo. There's Pendleton, New Jersey. Y'all, I'm in South Carolina. I used to live in New Jersey. Pendleton, South Carolina. If you're interested, you can check them out. It is the all-female tattoo parlor, female-owned, all-female artists, delightful. I loved the green in the background. I played with what happens if I peel it? I don't know, because the card's super, super thick. So what if I peeled it and used some of that? So I'm thinking I might use that as a pocket. I found a leaf floating in my stash, which is not, it's got some of that green, but I don't know. I picked it up. Some green sari ribbon that is falling apart. I've had this forever, but again, super fun. And then I pulled out some pieces. I got sent some happy mail from one of my playground members, and oh my goodness, y'all. First, tissue paper, a bit of gold. The leaf is what spoke to me, of course, because I'm going with green. Then this absolutely gorgeous napkin. What I look for, obviously the whole thing. Yeah. I feel like this napkin will show up a few more times. But what I loved is this butterfly felt that it was close enough to this green. And so if I take a piece of this, I've got some of these green leaves and this butterfly to play with. And then I had, this napkin also came as part of that set. And as much as it's lots of different colors, it has a lot of green in it. So because I'm also always looking for a piece to pay it forward to the next one, this napkin has this gorgeous beige, but in a beautiful magnolia. So this would make a beautiful focal point maybe for the next card. All right. So I'm always kind of looking ahead as well. So I'm going to play. If you are new here, please subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. There is so much to dive into on my channel in addition to this tag deck. If this is your first time with the tag deck, the playlist is below, so you can go and watch all of them or jump in and see which one, seems fun to you. Just randomly pick one and go and let the universe speak to you that way. Play along or watch it and then go grab your deck. If you would like to hear more about some other ideas instead of using this paint chip, I will link a live YouTube below that I talked about that. So you can check that out and see some other ideas because someone had asked me that question. Okay, so let's play. Let's go. Okay, so I tried a few things. I've got a little pocket, not a pocket, sorry, it's not a pocket. I've got a little flap, and it corresponds, there's my matching flower, super cute. And I kept adding the tissue paper to the back of everything as another way of pulling green onto the piece. I took this tab. I mean, you probably saw what I did, but I sometimes helps me when someone explains it. So the tab is glued on this side and then just here. So the tab became a tuck spot to hold the leaf. And then as it's hanging, it will stay flat, okay? And then on the leaf, I added this gorgeous stuff. So it is like a feast of pattern for the eyes, okay? A feast of pattern for the eyes. And you have your butterfly is still showing down here, and all the little bits of green tie on to the front, all right? And then there's my little dragonfly, and there's tiny bits of green in here to tie it together as well. Super different than anything I did, starting with let's just make collage to how can we take collage and do other fun things with it. So my focal point to this would be the leaf and also this extra piece of ribbon. Oh, I just love that. It's like it's like a Pandora's box. Just keep opening it and finding new fun things. So let's put it on my ring here. Okay, and so now I've also got something that peeks out, which is really fun because the first card in this is pink and it pulls this in. And that's really fun. Even as you look at it, all the colors of this little tag, or tab, I should say, are kind of represented in the color of what I have done in the past. So I think I love the idea of this sticking out. Whoops, I'm hooked. The one before it has the threads sticking out. Now I have a tab here. So I definitely think I'm going to keep adding, like what else can I add to have things sticking out? So when you're done with this, it really invites you into it and you want to go and see, well, what's attached to that tab? And then you're like, oh, it's a little like lift, a tip-in, if you will. And then this is stuck in here. And so lots of things, it starts to become more interactive than just having collage. So I think when you start any project, sometimes you have to start with the simplest. I'm going to collage down stuff. And even with this, there's different textures because I used, this is like a baby wipe, okay? So it's got texture to it. This one, even the fact that I'm building up the collage with lots of different thin papers, thicker papers, you can start to feel that texture as well. This has a slickness to it because it was a piece of washi tape that was made from cellotape, like a Scotch tape. Okay, and then so as you go, you can start to, I've got the modeling paste has got texture. How can you start to add texture and interest so that if someone were to go through this, they could start, they're like, ooh, that feels really soft, and oh, this moves, and it starts to become an interactive piece for you as you go through it, and also if you were to share it. All right, so if you enjoyed this, please always give it a thumbs up. That is lovely. If you are doing something with this tag book yourself, I would love to hear about it below. If you have any questions, don't forget to put them below as well. I do read and respond to all the comments. And I invite you to find a way to take collage in a new direction this week. How can you find a way to just take collage and try something new with it? All right? I will see you all in another video very soon. Thanks, my friends.